I tell you what, stew on it, and then anybody who wants to call me, or if you have, questions or insight. I mean, this is just for us to study and figure out together. So this is a list of the Facilities Advisory Committee made up of parents and community members. Because remember, when it comes to facilities planning, it's always best to get reps of the community. Because then they can talk to their constituents, and you can find out what does the community really want. So just a quick reminder on some of the things that we've been trying to do to engage the community. Number one is we're wrapping up our phone interviews. So we called 106 parents. We haven't, data strategies, data has, and is just wrapping up their 300 calls of non-parents. Now remember, the reason to call so many non-parents is that they represent the majority of the voters. And so we wanted to get their perspective. So questions like, students get A, B, C, D, F grades, what grade would you give the school? And then if it's a C, D, or F, they ask a follow-up like, can you elaborate? If we get an A and B, we just count it. So, and then are you familiar, when's the last time you've engaged with the school district, in what capacity? How familiar are you with some of the challenges we have, including facilities, enrollment, so on and so forth. And then it'll be shared back to you once it's done, quantitative or qualitative. We have also, the Facilities Advisory Committee has been meeting for 2 years. So we've had nearly 20 meetings, maybe more, just to look at building tours, talking to principals, asking for staff input, going to other districts, looking at facilities audits, getting data from NAC architects about costs of things. And now we're taking this final priority list and having NAC do a full analysis of what the project would cost so that we can begin to have more discussions about how do we approach some of these challenges we have. HVAC all throughout the district. Outdated system, infrastructure issues, got to have a plan on how we're going to update all of our HVAC.
Was this list put together after you guys reviewed the flow analytics data? I know there's a big list. I have it.
Yeah.
But
we looked at the flow analytics in our last meeting. We finalized this draft priority after that. Now, we had already predicted that we were going to have enrollment issues. And not issues, but positive things we have to resolve. And so we knew that Chattaroy was growing. So that's why you'll notice that they're wanting to cost out what might it cost to add 2 to 8 classrooms in Chattaroy.
But this school is going to grow at a faster rate. It's not on that.
That's why this is an iterative process.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just.
So you're the board. So you're ultimately going to have to make the call. But it's iterative in nature. It really is. It doesn't, I mean, you can challenge the list. You can say, I mean, I met with Chattaroy staff today. I'm scheduling a meeting with RES staff, meeting with the high school next. And if the question is, what are we missing? What advice do you have? What thoughts? What should be our priorities? I think a challenge for us is that we have a lot of you. And the goal is to create a long-range facilities plan that is responsible, professional, well-organized, paints the future. And again, it's not etched in stone, it's a plan. But to get it off the ground, it's a little bit challenging right now because of the sheer need. You could go to every school. So one of the criticisms might be, why don't you just go one school at a time? There's so many needs, it's hard to do only one school. And you have to balance that with what is the community willing to support. If you combined all the schools together, is this a community that would support a $300 million bond? Doubt it. So it's something we have to be really thoughtful about. So, but you'll notice the list here. So what I'd like you to do is ponder it as a board, and then again, give feedback back to And then staff will be allowed, but community members, if you have ideas or if you have circles that you want to go talk to or whatever, this is all public. And it's all draft. I mean, this isn't like the decision. We have a long time that we can make a decision. So it's just a matter of the process. I think that's pretty much it.
Is there a breakdown of cost of each priority item?
That's what's coming next. Yep, that's what's going to be going to the March 21st Facilities Advisory Committee meeting. And what we're going to do is what they've asked us to do is get that analysis from NAC Architects and then bring it back. And then we have Corey Plager from D.A. Davidson who's going to be coming and saying, okay, if these are the priorities, how much does it cost at each building? How much state match funds? This is critical. How many state matching funds do we have in each building? And then total district-wide, how many funds and how many state matching? And then we can have Corey run some numbers on, okay, if you run a bond, what would it look like? If you ran a levy, capital levy, what would it look like? If you did nothing, what would it look like? And just see what the options are, and then keep you apprised of the situation. Any other questions from anybody?
Want to get an accurate amount of money because, you know, we're blindsided on the levy project as far as cost. And don't want to have the same thing happen here.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a little hard to predict a couple years out, you know, because if we did hypothetically run a bond, usually it's a year out before the construction. And so to estimate escalation costs, inflation, things like that, I wouldn't want to have to do that, but they're trained professionals, so should be able to do that. Yeah.
I'd just like to thank Matt and all the people on the facilities committee. I was a part of it for the first year, and we toured a bunch of schools, and the work and dedication of your team is pretty amazing for a group of volunteers, because there's so many hours that Matt and his team put in to all of this, and we can't thank you enough for volunteering your time. I really appreciate it.
I have taken Jocelyn's place on that committee, and I can tell you that it's apparent to me that one of the biggest impactful things about what we're doing is that we haven't done anything for too long. And it's time that we step up to the plate. And that list is fine. There's another list 2 or 3 times that length, all of which are really, really important things to do. We've got to eat it one bite at a time, and that's really what we're trying to do. So it's not that we forgot about some of the other stuff, it's just that we've got to be dealing with the finances as they are real. Thank you, Ken, for that brief description. I appreciate that.
That's good for me.
Very good.
That was good.
Very good.
Stayed on track.
Now, we're going to go through the resolutions list, and I'll go ahead and go through these. We have to do this one resolution at a time. So I will ask for a motion on Resolution A, which is 2/2302, state waiver of required school days, 1 staff waiver day in 2023 and 24, and 24 and 25. I need a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. B, 2023-03, state waiver of required school days or parent-teacher conference days in 2023-2024. I need a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. C, 2304, state waiver of required school days for parent-teacher conference days in 2024 and 2025. Need a motion?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
E, 2023-05 registration resolution. I need a motion.
Second.
Do you want to say anything, Jim, or?
I mean, if there's no questions.
Okay.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 2306 LGO board resolution. Need a motion.
I move.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we are adjourned for 10 minutes.
Just take a recess.
Yeah.
Gotta sign the forms and let Jim